cozy. I'm so cozy. All cozy and crispy and Gilmore Girly. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome to my life. I would definitely love it if you subscribe to my channel, like this video, because I've noticed recently that a lot of people who are watching my videos are not subscribed, and let me tell you, that would be a big shame. Big shame, because to earn my love, you gotta subscribe. And don't forget to like the video. I wanted to talk about my favorite autumn feelings because, as you know, or maybe you don't know, watch my previous birthday vlog. My birthday falls on the first day of autumn this year, as it does every couple years, September 23rd. So I've always been an autumn baby. I've always felt like this connection to the weather and just the mood, the ambiance. Just everything about this season is like my brand. It's like on brand. One of the things I wanted to do was decorate my room, and here it is. So there's one check. But let's start with my favorite autumn feelings. Okay, so my one true love for autumn is the first time putting your boots on. Like the first time it's chilly in the morning and you just slip on those boots from like the deep corners of your closet that you've kept away for not that long, because if you live in Canada, the last time you probably used them was in like May, to be honest. June, July, August, September, October, so 4 or 5 months ago. That's the reality of Canadian weather. First time slipping on to boots, I think, is one of my favorite feelings, because it just symbolizes that, like, that new chapter and that new transition. It's like right away you're just literally put on new gear for like this new chapter of your life. Oh my gosh, so metaphorical. Ugh. It's just who I am. I see metaphors everywhere, but not just metaphorically but physically. It's just all cozy. Like, I don't know about you, but like I usually forget how my boots look like. Like, I don't know if I'm like weird like that, but like it just that's what it does. It just flies away out of my mind. And then when the fall season comes and I'm like forced to go finding them in the closet, right, I look at them and I'm just like, oh yeah, like it's just kind of like that excitement again, almost like you're buying boots again, because you just forget how they look like, which is my case. It just fits like a puzzle piece, and I love walking around. And I know this first season, the first day I wore boots was when it was like really hot outside. That's kind of the downfall of fall in Canada, especially September weather, because it's always hot. It's always deceivingly hot. So like one breeze will flow by and you're immediately like, oh, putting on like all the winter gear, and then you go outside and you're like sweating. Especially the really long boots, you know what I'm talking about? Like the really long ones that come up to your knees. You feel on fire when you put that on. Like, you feel like there is nothing you can't do, nothing you can't conquer. You put them on and you just like prance around like a supermodel or something. That's how I always feel when I put on those long boots. I haven't put them on this season either yet, but something to look forward to. I love how like this season, like, you know, autumn lovers will know that just like having something to love and adore like this, it will just immediately put you in a good mood, in a good spirit, and it's just something to look forward to and something to hope. I think that's why we love autumn so much, is because all of these like cozy feelings that we get kind of like flutters, and that's why I decided to make this video, because it's all about the feelings. It's all about like the warm, like comfort feelings that we feel like when we drink a hot drink. It just gives us like warmth, and I feel like that whole vibe is from like fall in itself. So that's my next favorite thing, is the drinks. If you know me, you know that I don't like hot drinks. I'm more of an iced drinker. That's why I drink my coffee, iced blonde vanilla latte. But for autumn season, I'm obsessed with Earl Grey tea lattes, which is what I'm drinking right now. It's Earl Grey tea with just milk and sugar, but at Starbucks, the London Fog, oh man, even the name London Fog, like even if I would have hated the drink, I probably would have bought it just for the name. London fog, like that's marketing done right. Maybe because, you know, I secretly want to like travel to London, but it just seems so dreamy, like a dreamy like state, a dreamy like trance, you know, the London fog. But besides the actual name of it, it tastes heavenly because they steam the milk. Here's a trick for you. If you get the London fog, ask for more milk and less water because it's just more tasty that way. And I usually ask for no foam as well because the foam usually like, I don't know, bubbles up and then it just like, it feels like less milk. So you're left with drinking just the hot water. But anyways, it has like hits of lavender and just black tea with milk and vanilla. You can't go wrong. This season is just made for it. My next favorite thing is wearing blankets as sweater weather. So we all love and adore sweater weather. We love kind of the comfort. Again, it's all about comfort. The comfort that it gives us when it's just like, when you're snuggled and in a sweater you feel like you're in a blanket. Like you're in a cozy, kind of like child fort that you like made when you were little. And wherever you go, like how, no matter how hard life gets and how much adulting you have to do, you know, either at school, either at work, either, and just like all of the struggles that you're faced with, you just have this physical thing that like bundles you up and almost makes it feel like you're always being hugged, or like, it's just that like, feeling like you're home, like you're home within yourself in the cozy, cuddly blanket. And I adore that feeling. Especially because it takes, wow, I'm already filming for 10 minutes. I gotta wrap it up. Especially how fast it is to just get ready, you know, put on a sweater and you're already all dolled up, you know? Another thing that I really, really love is when the house has the heater on and it literally feels like you're a toasty, warm marshmallow. When you're just so comfortable in bed, like the sheets and the pillows are just the right angle, just the right fluffiness. Ooh, I love that word, fluffy. It's just so right that it makes you feel like you're, I don't know, like in the microwave or something. It's just amazing. Also, I really, really love fall themed words like fluffy, cozy, snuggly, toasty, let's see what else. Just all these cute words that we use for this weather. I love it. Another thing is warm baths. During the fall and winter season, I take baths like pretty much every single day. They're just so comfortable to kind of unwind in at the end of the day. When you're putting on a movie, like the other night, it might have been actually last night, I was watching This Is Us and I was in the bath just literally crying because that show is so emotional that I literally can't go an episode without crying. Like, it's just so raw, and like the emotional relationships within the family is just so beautiful and so tragic at the same time and so real in life. And so I just sat there like crying in my hot like steaming bath. But I love like little rituals that we have during this season that we unwind in, or just do things that are kind of like our little traditions. Something that connects to like the waking up or like being toasty in bed is waking up in the morning when the weather is all gloomy and rainy and it's just like foggy and dark. I think I'm basically the opposite of most of the majority because everyone kind of hates that. And I admit sometimes I do get headaches, but when I don't get headaches, I think it's like beautiful. I think it's just like very like mysterious, and I especially like those mornings when it's so foggy that you can't see anything. So when you're driving, you're like driving through, I don't know, like a different world, like something so mystical and magical and mysterious. And like, is there a cliff down there that you're driving 1 meter away from? Who knows? So That's just one of my favorite things. Fall hikes. Oh my goodness, enough said. Especially when the trees just like are just the right color, where you could just see all of their beautiful, beautiful shades and ranges. And I love observing the trees during this time because sometimes in one tree we'll have like 3 different colors. It'll like be from green to red and yellow, or from yellow to red. It's kind of just like fighting within itself to, I don't know, maybe stay the color it is, or the new color kind of infests its soul and it has to like change and then literally just fall off. So it's really fascinating to see every tree's like different timing. It kind of just like reminds me of people because every tree is different. You'll see 2 trees that are already like naked, like they don't have any leaves on them. And then another tree is still like seriously completely green. Another one is like half yellow. So it's just like every tree has its own timing, its own season. And it doesn't mean that it's any less important or valuable or special, right? I just love the crunching of leaves, like on a fall hike when you go in the forest and the ground is just paved and like flowered with all of these leaves that are usually muddy but also like really colorful. They almost look like jewels, like you're walking on gold, you know? And the crunching, crispy, oh yeah, that's another word that I love. A part of the fluffy, the whole beautiful words of the season is crisp. Oh my gosh, crisp apple, crisp pumpkin, crisp tree. Ha! Anyway, so the crispiness of this season is undefeatable because when your boots keep like knocking on the crispiness, it's almost like the leaves are shushing and like, I don't know, it's just like very like ethereal. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that word right, but I'm just gonna go with it. Now, I know I'm not the only one. Well, no, I can't be the only one. I get like these sentimental attachments to clothes, and I have always been like this for like pretty much my entire life. Like it was always so hard to get rid of clothes and my favorite things that were even ripped or like already had so many holes in them, or like, you know, things like that. I'm very sentimental and like emotionally attached to my clothes because I remember where they came from, like the times that are tied to them. And anyways, so during the season, my plaid red scarf, I have like an emotional attachment to it. And a couple of years ago, I had like a kind of burgundy reddish and black striped scarf, and I wore it everywhere. And then one time I went to the mall and somehow I was trying something on and I lost it, and I was just so upset over it. It was like a tragedy to me because during the season it's like the one thing that I always wear consistently, and it's also that coming down to that feeling of comfort and something kind of like around you and something to like fumble with, or something that looks good, like it's stylish but it's also warm. It's like providing heat for your neck and your chest, and it's something that when I lost it, I was really, really sad about it. So I have like a way better one right now that's like warmer and fluffier and redder, and I am not letting that thing go, ever. And it's just, the same goes with my jacket, like my autumn jacket and my boots, and just like putting the whole gear on just makes me feel like I'm in my element, you know? Everything about this season with like my dark nails, putting on rings on. My goodness, I'm obsessed with rings on nails, especially the dark backdrop. And then dark lip colors, eyeliner, just the whole fashion of the season is like a runway. Like I feel like everyone is just on a runway, prancing and dashing across the runway of this world. And this world is like a personality in its own because it's changing color and it's like stripping back everything and like becoming new and like kind of paving a way for us to remember that things fall and things have to die in order to make way for new beginnings and new fresh, you know, things that will be even better than what was ugly and musty and dark in our lives, you know? Smells. Smells is another one. There is something about the smells when you walk into Starbucks, and I'm not even a PSL lover. Like, I am not the biggest fan of pumpkin spice lattes. But there's just something about that spicy smell of like, I don't even like cinnamon either, but like all of the smells will just like catch you. Like that was kind of like a, anyways, just linger like wherever you go. And it's just like when the home is filled with maybe like if you're baking apple pies or pumpkin pies, or you know, just like apples in the oven. I don't know, let me know if you do that, because my family does that. We like put our apples in the oven and then they become this like squishy, gushy, like juiciness of like a warm apple, and it's just so yummy. Everything is about the mood. Like when outside it's like all the leaves are dangling, dancing across the window, and you're like holding your pumpkin, eating like Thanksgiving meal or something. It's just everything comes together and sits in its rightful place. There was something in the air that night, da 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 da, Fernando. Okay, there is something in the air though when it's that transition from summer to fall, and there's just that sharpness to it. Like you just feel that like fragility of the season, like everything is kind of hanging on a string or like by a thread, that everything is about to literally just unmask itself and like fall or like break down. And it's really amazing because obviously you can't see air, but you just feel it. You just feel it, and you just feel that difference of like emotion that like is struck between the axis of the world, like the autumn equinox. Now, driving at night during fall, I think is the best thing ever. Maybe driving at night is just something that I love to do in general, but when it's like autumn season, it's just like, it's more mysterious. So when you're driving down like all of these like up and down hills, it's like so like aesthetically pleasing. And I've been obsessed with the Crime Junkie podcast lately, so I'm listening to that day and night, and listening to that in the car driving at night is just perfect. Like it's the perfect condition, perfect recipe. Yeah, Gilmore Girls will always have a special place in my heart. In fact, recently in Unionville, they had like a meetup of like Gilmore Girl Fest that I was so sad that I couldn't attend. But basically Unionville is kind of like in Toronto, and Gilmore Girls filmed their first episode in Unionville, Toronto. And when I found this out, my heart started beating and I got so excited. And I remember going to Unionville without knowing this fact and just being like, everything reminds me of Gilmore Girls here, you know, the streets, the shops, the little gazebo in the middle, which they actually took after the town. They like got inspired by the town, and that's how they used bits and pieces of it in their actual like where did they film? I don't remember where they filmed. Connecticut? Yeah, so that's how they took that and then built like a stage or whatever. But it was inspired by Unionville, and oh man, Gilmore Girls. I haven't watched it this fall season yet just because I've watched it earlier this year, so I'm trying to like take more time, but yeah, there's just something about that show that's just, Now, for all Instagram model wannabes, autumn is the perfect time for photo shoots. I love going everywhere and anywhere, and everything is the backdrop. Like you don't even need to work for it. All the trees are purple veined and red blood shades and orange and like yellow, like sunshine golden, and it's just, the whole world is like your masterpiece, and you get to take photos everywhere you go, where the pumpkins are, where the apples are, where the leaves are just like fluttering away on the ground and like piled up on top of each other and kind of like making a pile, or like the rain, or just everything about this season is just gorgeous. And then your warm toned feed on Instagram. Next, fuzzy socks. Okay, and I left best for last, and the last is rain. You thought I would miss my favorite like subject to talk about ever. I get so excited when it rains. Like I get this unexplainable like jolt of like lightning, or I mean, it just depends. Sometimes I get this like lightning feeling, and then other times I get this like soothing comfort feeling like down in the depths of my soul. When the rain is pattering on the window, when you're falling asleep to its like rhythm of raindrops against your window, when you're driving and the rain is on your windshield and I just like don't even use the wipers because I just want to see the beautiful like quilt on my windshield. And then that smell after it rains, like not only is the world beautiful when all the shades of color are just coming together in autumn, but when it rains during that time too, and the smell after that of like rebirth, like the earth's rebirth is just something so timeless and magical, and it's just undescribable. It's just undescribable. When October just started like a couple days ago or last week, it was raining ever since like October 1st. Like it started raining, and then maybe for like 4 or 5 days after, it rained every single day. Right on the dot on October. Like, is that beautiful timing or what? There's just so much to do when it's raining, you know? You can get all cozy with a book. You can watch your favorite movie in the bath while it's like thunderstorming. Or you can like cuddle up in your favorite Starbucks coffee shop and do some work and watch on the window like it's a TV or something, the whole world kind of drowning its sorrows. And I just love that mood. I just love it. Like sunshine is like, it's nice and all, but give me rain and never stop. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what your favorite autumn feeling is, like ever. And if you're a rain lover, because sometimes I hear that people don't like rain and I'm like, what? Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you another time. Bye! Cheers!